building and bonding with a stripper beyond the physical. I was watching Players Club and they gave me some ideas. I was watching Lisa Ray and her boyfriend, and he made a fatal mistake. It was a big mistake. When you reveal insecurities is a weakness, and he did that. Because see, when he met Lisa Ray at the strip club, she was already stripping before you met her. So that's her job. That's how she bring in income. So I'll just say this first: when a woman, or when a man has a woman, I'll just say this: when a man has a woman, and she has a strong passion for something and a strong love for something, it's not that man's job; it's that man's responsibility to get behind that woman, support her, and encourage her passion. Lisa Ray's boyfriend in Players Club didn't do that. And I'll say, let me see, another example was Bow Wow. When he was with this IG model named Kiyomi, and they was going off, he was going off in the elevator. I'm talking about that woman that he was fussing at in the elevator at that time. Now they supposed to been at some party, and since she's an IG model, one of the ways she make her money is hosting parties. So when she was going around networking and trying to get guys to hire her to host parties, he got mad at that. You see what I mean? But she got to be up in people's faces because that's how she bring in income. But like I'll say this again, if this is a woman that you taking seriously, it's up to that man, not his job. It's his responsibility to get behind the supporter and encourage her passion. And Bow Wow failed at that too. Now, it's a few strippers that I built and bonded with beyond the physical, but I'm gonna talk about just one. Her name was Jackie, and her stripper name was Cinnamon. Now, before I go into that, I'll say this too. When a woman strips, that's her alter ego. And all the alter ego is just another version of oneself. So, well, for example, I'll say this. Beyonce had one called Sasha Fierce. And Mary J. Blige had one called Brooklyn. And Brooklyn gave Mary J. Blige the courage to say things that Mary J. Blige wouldn't say. So she felt, comfortable being Brooklyn because she can express herself freely more than Mary J. Blige would. So that was her alter ego, Brooklyn. And that was strippers do, the ones I had. They was totally different from the strip club, man. When Jackie first started off, she was kind of shy and timid, but when she broke her shell, man, and came out of it and came in and got comfortable in her own skin, she was taking charge, being at the strip club, and guys couldn't take her eyes off of her. You know what I'm saying? But when I got her private to herself, because see, when a stripper is in a strip club, her occupation is to be seductive. It's to be seductive, sell dreams, become a man's fantasy, because that's how you get paid, right? So she's supposed to be seductive, selling dreams, being a man's fantasy. So that's what she's supposed to do. That's her occupation. But now, when I got her away from the strip club into reality, because that's a fantasy world. The strip club is just a fantasy world. When I brought her back to reality, man, she was feminine, reserved, cool, just laid back. But in that strip club, she was like taking charge and being wild, getting down, making her money like she should do. And I got behind her, support, and encouraged her passion. But check this out. I'm going to talk about how you build and bond with a stripper beyond the physical now. Beyond the physical now. I'm going to break down my friend Jackie, Cinnamon. Now, let's break it down. Number one. She tried to rush lust, but I built chemistry. She had chemistry confused with lust, but I told her that chemistry is a potential spark that needs to blossom over time. It's something that can grow the more and more you become more familiar with that person. Chemistry is a slow, steady burn that has to be maintained, but lust is a strong attraction, like a magnet towards a person. I wanted to take my time with her to build chemistry and not give in to my lust, because I wanted to position myself in her mind as a man/leader and not come off as a customer. I know guys that say, man, you can't turn an HO into a housewife. I wasn't trying to make her a housewife. I was just trying to position myself in her mind as a man/leader and not a customer. Someone that just wanted instant gratification. Check this out now. We building beyond the physical now. So I had to fight off my inner freak and build with her beyond the physical. Okay, number two. I told her to be Jackie and not Cinnamon. When you're really attracted to someone, you always try to present the best version of yourself by always putting your best foot forward. But it's a thin line between being realistic and being idealistic. Fantasy, what she was being at the strip club, a fantasy. I told her to just be the original her, because being a lustful fantasy, unauthentic and not genuine, will have her coming off as unattractive. But she'll be even more attractive to me is if she's willing to own who she really and truly is. And that will help her reveal what she's really looking for in a relationship. I wanted her to be true, because once I start to realize she's just going along to get along, and she doesn't have her own goals and values, that can push me in a personal way. I told her that. By having her real interests and wants will only make a relationship more solid and healthy. See, I wanted Jackie. I know Cinnamon is your alter ego, but I want Jackie. See, it's two parts to a person, the physical and the personal. I want to get her to know her on a personal level. You know what I'm saying? Her real character, personality, and behavior. That's what I want to get to know on a deeper personal level. Number 3, what's Jackie's goals in a relationship? Without any set goals and any real genuine intentions in mind, most people fall into a bad habit of being idle. Just being acceptive of what's to come without active response or resistance. Now, I'll translate that. Translation. Just waiting for the next person to show some real or just enough interest, and then allowing yourself to react to whatever they want to bring it to the table. Like it's an audition, you know. Because when you try to prove yourself, it's like an audition, like you're not auditioning for a person. But since Jackie and Cinnamon are two different people, both have two different wants and needs. Cinnamon is looking for an instant exchange, and that's what makes a guy her tricking customer. But Jackie wants is much different. She has to spend some time coming up with her ideal relationship in her mind and what it looks like, so she can use that to really recognize and identify which potential partner aligns with those ideas and which ones don't. Can't go through life journey without a purpose or plan. Can't go through life's journey without a purpose or plan. I told her that also. Now check this out, man. Looking for a partner with goals and a purpose in mind removes the stress from figuring out which particular partner she should give most of her time, energy, and efforts, and will help her create clarity around a serious situation. She had to know that. See, it's what Jackie wants. I know what Cinnamon wanted. See what I mean? Cinnamon wants instant gratification. She wants an exchange type relationship. But what does Jackie want? See? I had to split the two. Jackie wants and needs versus Cinnamon wants and needs. Okay, cool. Is she looking for something because she's alone mentally and emotionally? Now, I'll break that down why I said that. Now, check this out. Is she looking for something because she's alone mentally and emotionally? Reason why I said mentally and emotionally is because she has other guys to keep her entertained physically. So, is she really looking for some compatibility, like a man to be compatible to her? A challenge, a man that's dominant, takes charge, and that's a versatile lover. That's a versatile lover. I told her that. It's cool to want a relationship, but when a person starts forcing connections and relationships because it's what she'll think is what she should be doing because she's uncomfortable being alone, then that's the real problem. If she's looking for something serious, a need for a potential partner will only fill a certain hole, and she'll give herself away and lose herself, but she'll avoid that if she's trying to not find but build true love. And she must do that by being her authentic self, which is Jackie, and in her own power. See, Jackie is what Jackie wants. See, when you want something serious, it's up to Jackie now. Now check this now. Does Jackie settle for less and Cinnamon wants more, or Cinnamon settles for less and Jackie wants more? Some people sacrifice 1, 5, 10, 20 things because they are scared of being alone, and this is what I call real low self-esteem. This only creates a pattern of a person allowing others into their lives to soon regret, feel bitter about, and they never actually liked in the first place. Separate the two, players. Separate the two. The stripper from the real person. You know, that's what I was just talking about. Just separate the two. Let's go to number 6. I'm breaking down how you build a bond with it beyond the physical now. Does she have negative thoughts about herself? Jackie can't make room for a positive relationship if she's always stuck in the negative when she looks in the mirror. If she has negative thoughts like everyone just wants her for her body, she is getting too old, or nobody will take her seriously beyond the surface level, only cuts down her self-confidence and worth. So if she's being negative and sees a person as too good for her, and no guy won't take her seriously, will only lead to a unhealthy relationship. Jackie had doubt because people just seen her as physical, you know, a fantasy or a dream. That's why I took my time and built and bonded with her mentally and emotionally that way before I did physically. Stimulate and penetrate her mentally and emotionally first. See, that's why I didn't go straight in. I wanted to build with her. I wanted to get to know her as a person, not just going in as a customer. Number 7, check her baggage. Most definitely do that, please. Check her baggage at the door. If she's a person that has a bad habit of harboring old feelings, never allows herself to deal with the pain or issues that come from a bad breakup, then she's establishing a bad foundation for her future relationships. Make sure she's completely healed mentally and emotionally and has dropped her old baggage from her ex-partner before she takes her old wounds and scars into a new situation. Work out her pattern and themes of what hurts, what still lingers in her heart, and where she's vulnerable. Now check this out. Check this out. Vulnerability is the door to the heart. So when her door is off the hinge, fix it back so you can have a proper and more acceptable way in. And that's key, players. If her door is off the hinge, fix it back, players. You know, they all have wounds and scars from their old relationship. You got to fix it back. Like I said, if this is a woman that you're serious about, I ain't just saying if you want her physically now. This is just serious business. You know what I'm saying? You see her, you like her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hit it off. You see you can build with her. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have common interests, common goals. Hey, you want to build with her beyond the physical? This is what you do. Number 8. Is she comparing you to the ex? Or exes? That can be true too now. Check this out. The ex or exes. It's common for any female to consciously or subconsciously compare everyone to her last flame. But this comes from being still emotionally attached to him. So tell her this if she mentions that. Focus on every new individual you meet as a unique individual and learn to appreciate him or them for their good intangibles, principles, good qualities. And always keep in mind that someone new is a fresh start. That's better than putting them into comparison with someone old and from her past. This makes her look at you differently by putting it this way because you put it in a logical way and made it make sense rather than just get mad, because guys do that, man. You know, she used to street guys, so I already knew, you know what I'm saying? She said, you ain't, a street guy like I'm used to dealing with, you know what I'm saying? But she still tried to compare certain things, like I had a sense of humor. The guy she had a sense of humor. I was kind of like versatile on certain things, but I was, I get mad. I say, hey, I'm a unique individual, but every new guy you meet is a fresh start. So I told her that, don't look at it, don't try to compare every guy. Look at every guy the same, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be the same, especially if he bonding with you, you know what I'm saying, and building with you beyond just the physical, just take him serious. Don't just try to compare him, because everybody got their own unique style to him. Number 9, so I had to break that down to her, man. Number 9. Work to improve her, not to change her. Realize more times than not that she's putting her best foot forward when y'all first meet in the beginning stages. It's important to take her as she is and assume all of her good and bad characteristic traits are there to stay. But is she willing to cooperate with you so you can help her strengthen her weaknesses and penetrate and stroke her mentally with your proper guidance, influence, and information? In order for her to change for the better, you need heavy cooperation. Hey, you can't change without heavy cooperation. And then I had to tell her that, hey, in order for you to change and become the best version of yourself, what you want to do, I need heavy cooperation. Heavy cooperation. Because like I said, she used to dealing with guys. Really, she used to dealing with hustlers. The rest of them that I had too. They were just dealing with like hustlers, but they never took out the time to really get to know the person. It was always, sex and buying gifts and just having fun, excitement, entertainment, all that stuff, the pleasures, romance. She never had a guy just build with her, bonded with her, you know what I'm saying, beyond the physical. But check this out now. Number 10, we're going to hit it like this. Force her to be upfront about how she really feels. Some people keep their feelings hid, and most females act as if the person she's with will magically figure out through her emotions or the clues that she's giving off. They're good doing that. I can't read your mind, now you got to tell me. By admitting that she's really into a man, mentally and emotionally, is scared for her. Now, I'm going to say this too now. Oh, man. I'm going to say this right quick. It's scary because it often happens when most guys don't build with strippers beyond the physical. It's all lust and an exchange. See what I mean? That was scary for her, man. The rest of them told me that too, man. It's you got a guy sitting here being patient, talking to you, penetrating you mentally and emotionally, man. Hey, she never had that, because like I said, it's always lust and instant gratification, an exchange. It's never building and bonding. You see what I'm saying? So that is scary to them now. When they get a man really just taking their time with them, it is scary now. But she'll risk losing that man for good by hoping he can read her mind. It's scary also because a man is taking his time and being patient with her. Being upfront is the only way he'll ever know how she really feels about him. And I told her that, like, I can't read your mind now. If you're feeling a certain way, let me know. You see what I'm saying? Let me know. I cannot read your mind. I might be feeling the same way. Check this out now. Number 11. Is she focusing on too much of what you want? When meeting someone, several people are so worried about messing things up that they focus too much on what the other person wants. And I had, you know what I'm saying, people say that too. You focus on what they want, no focus on what you want. Are they lacking something that he, she is looking for, or is he, she enough? But that just causes them to want to prove. Like I said, audition. When you're trying to prove to somebody, all you're doing is auditioning, man. To he, she, that they're worthy of that person's attention and they're enough. Tell her, focus on what she values and what she can bring into a relationship besides her assets. Because if you just let her bring her assets into a relationship, then you're going to be her tricking customer, see? You can't just let her bring her vagina and that's it, players. No, man. See, when you do that, I go into later, but when you do it like that, all she got to do is just bring her body and her vagina, then you become her customer and her trick. It's just as simple as that. Having these tools going in, she helps create firm, healthy, and honest communication and cooperation, which only makes in return a solid rock foundation for any relationship. Most strippers and most females do feel like they can just bring themselves, and that's it. But find out what other good qualities and intangibles she has to help benefit your situation. And I just seen a picture of what made me write that down was Yo Gotti. I just seen a picture of him with Floyd Mayweather's ex. And he already buying the gifts, got on the yacht. Come on, man, you giving her too much too soon, man. You giving her too much too soon. Giving her too much too soon means it doesn't take much to please you, and your standards and expectations you have for her are low. That's what that means. When you give her something and she ain't work for it, your expectations and your standards for her are low, man. That's all that says, and she knows that. If all she knows is she has to just offer her body and that pleases you, then that becomes an exchange relationship. You position yourself in her mind as a trick. She won't appreciate you. She will just appreciate your money and what things you do for her, man. Like, come on now. I see, I'm been looking at Yo Gotti, man. He on a yacht with Floyd Mayweather ex, like, bro. Is she like, okay, I talked about this in another video too. Moneybag Yo. He bought Ari Fletcher the Lamborghini truck. Man, hey, man. When you give them too much too soon, they appreciate the stuff you do for them. They don't appreciate the man. So you got to take the time for them to invest them into you, not the stuff you do for them, man. And that's like I say, man, you tricking off like that. You tricking off, man. I seen Yo Gotti do it. Man, who else did it? I'll just say Yo Gotti in Moneybag Yo for right now, man. I'm talking about, come on, man. If you want her to be invested in you, put yourself first, man, not your money, man. You first, money last. You know what I'm saying? Make her appreciate you first, man. The man first. See how you can position yourself with somebody's mind and head? 12. Does she look for what's wrong instead of what is right? When going through the process of finding someone compatible, many people try to connect with others by running through a bunch of questions to quickly assess if that person is compatible or has potential. And I mean by potential is almost not quite. But all that does is put a roadblock between the two, because she is more focused on finding what's wrong with that person rather than just looking for points where she or they can actually connect further. I wasn't a street dude like her past guys, but she found other qualities she liked in me. She did. She said that she's like, I like how you don't make promises you can't keep. You always stand on your words. You have boundaries, principles you live by. Because she never was had a dad or whatever. So I was like, kind of like a dad figure, whatever, like a man figure that she never really had. So they would tell me that, because they never was close to the guy they was with. It's like I say, always physical thing. Never looked up to the man. I always looked down on him. 13. Don't rush a deep connection. Let it grow slowly. Oh man, most people who really are seeking a commitment and some sort of connection will try to rush a deeper, vulnerable connection with that person that they seen has potential or really interested in by trying to bond over painful spots in early stages of the relationship. For example, check this out, man. For example, some people will bring up their exes in the beginning stages, which is not needed right in those moments of getting to know each other. Mutual respect and trust between the two hasn't been established on the first couple of times of seeing each other. So in those moments and times is where the man should be putting his foot in the door by talking about him while still remaining true to himself and always just trying to get a better understanding of her as a person, her character, personality, behavior, habits, likes, dislikes, goals, dreams, desires, fears, and fantasies. Man, you gotta do that, man. Her character, personality, behavior, habits, likes, dislikes, goals, dreams, desires, fears, and fantasies. Keep the first few conversations about you and her, because you don't want to set a foundation of a relationship based in pain and self-satisfaction. but instead base it on your strong suits, morals and principles, good intangibles, and good qualities that truly make you who you is as a unique person. And save those past relationship talks for later. You first, and then you talk about her, and then work on her past relationships. That's a proper way of building a solid foundation and connection. Hey man, build with her players. Build with her players. Build with her. Answer this too. This is how you dig in her past now. When you get to know her, do this. I'm going to give you a few to write down. Her childhood, teen years, adult life. What's the main reason she started stripping? Jackie told me she was at a party, at some kind of concert, and the guys that was watching were throwing money at her. You know what I'm saying? It was like a concert. I don't know if it was a Turk concert or something. But she was at a club, it was a concert, and she was dressed up. And guys were just throwing money at her. And she said, hey, if I can make $100 just dancing, imagine what I could do stripping. So that's what made her strip. So, but answer this. Her childhood, teen years, adult life. What's the main reason she started stripping? Was it planned over the years or something she just got into? Like Jackie just got into it. How long has she been doing it? How much longer does she plan on doing it? How was her first couple of experiences like dancing naked in front of guys lusting after her? How long did it take her to really get over her shyness, just get comfortable and start making some real money? What was her first big purchase from stripping? Was she ever stalked by a customer like Diamond off a Players Club? Was she ever involved intimately with one of the female strippers? Now, most of them lick kitty cat now. Most of them do that. Most of them lick kitty cat. And most of them do some type of drug. They pop pills, smoke weed, smoke blunts. They drink. Some of them snort powder. So all of them do some type of drug. And all of them lick kitty cat. And not all of them, most of them. And all of them have been in a lesbian relationship. So after that, players, has she ever been intimately now with another female stripper or another female? Did she only like her past guys or really respected them? Now I ain't say love. I said liked or respected, because you can like someone and not respect them. Were they jealous, insecure, supportive, messed around, she messed around back, or she messed around, they messed around back? Did they physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially abuse her? The main objective is to get to know the core of both of her. The stripper and the person, man. You want to get to know both of them. Now, her first big purchase was she was living with her cousin. So she got an apartment. She was already going to school, so she got an apartment. And then next was she bought an Impala. It was purple and black. And then after now, when she started first getting into the groove, that was around her second year when she got that house and that apartment, that car. But now when she got some years in, she went to that Super Bowl in Houston. And man, when she came back, she bought her car cash. So she really did good, man. When she got out of her, her shyness and got really into her skin and just got experience, man, she started blowing up for real. But 14 players, let's break it all the way down. Don't start talking about the future way too early. You fine, I'll marry you, I drink your bath water. Come on, man, you coming off like a customer, man. All that here guys say that all the time in strip club. Girl, you're so fine, I'll marry you right now. Let me call my mama and tell her I'll marry you right now. I found my wife. Come on, man. You coming off as a customer. Going on the first couple of hours together and acting thirsty and desperate over her is the quickest and fastest way to destroying a relationship before it even begins. Because you start off like her customer and not a man with leadership skills and self-control. Instead, begin right so you end right. Explore your likes and dislikes, her good qualities and bad qualities, things she does good and the things you can help her and work on and improve on as you talk and get to know her. Use your time wisely, not to pour your heart out. That's key, man. Use your time wisely, not to pour your heart out. Girl, I'm marrying you right now. You're so fine. Because that shows your weakness, and she'll use it to her advantage, for her strengths and her gain, and against you. Like I said, that's a weakness, players. So insecurity is a weakness too. The best strategy is to show control, calmness, and discipline. Also, with the mindset of, how can she be beneficial to your program? And I'll just say this before I leave. What I mean by discipline now, I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, and physically. Mentally, because if this is stripper you taking serious, like I did, right? Now you got to block out she dancing naked in a strip club on top of guys, they slapping her butt. You got to block that out your mind, player. Mentally strong, you got to block that out. If this is a woman you're taking seriously now, I didn't have a problem with it. Because I want to show her that I was secure in my manhood. I'm secure about myself. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm not insecure. Hey, I'm with you. I support you. I want you. I encourage your passion. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by emotionally strong is this. Don't get too attached to her like that, because you got to safeguard your feelings. But hey, they come going, but hey, strippers also, man, that's a weakness for her. If she see you getting too, you trying to, you know what I'm saying, go too hard, getting jealous, like I said, it's a weakness, but you getting jealous, man, and calling every day and all that stuff like that, man. Hey, man, she gonna back away from you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get your feelings attached to her, man. Safeguard your heart, man, because you got a stripper, man. You know she around guys 24/7, 7 days of the week, 7 days of the week, players. So you got to block that out. Don't get your emotions attached. Safeguard your heart. And what I mean by physically discipline now, I'm talking about sexual discipline. You got to have sexual discipline, because I'll just say this. He who controls the sex in the relationship controls the relationship. He who controls the sex in the relationship controls the relationship. And I add this on to that too now. When you're always reaching for her body, she'll lose respect for you, man, because then you become a customer again. See what I mean? So you gotta have mental discipline, emotional discipline, and physical discipline, man, because the more you keep reaching for her body, she'll lose respect for you, man, because then you're coming off as a customer again. You're reaching for her body too much. See, the more you reach for it, the less respect she'll have for you, because you're supposed to see a man leads a woman, or grown males follows a woman. You know what I'm saying? And a man is what? Naive or wise. So I'll just add this to that. Whenever you're reaching for her body, you showing her you a grown male. You weak for her. But when you show discipline, you showing her how strong you is as a man. See, a woman can tell if a man is a grown man or a male because he got discipline. See, grown men have discipline, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So when you always reaching for it, oh, I got him. But when you show her, hey, I can deal with you, you know what I'm saying, on occasions from time to time. Every time I see you, I ain't trying to pull your pants down or get in your pants. Hey, man, when you do that, when you show her you got discipline, man, you got order, structure about yourself, principles about yourself, man, she gonna look up to you and not down on you. Not just like you, but respect you, see. So I just want to break that down, players. It's like a study guide, man. Building and bonding with a stripper beyond the physical now. Beyond the physical, players. Mentally, emotionally, and physically disciplined and strong. You gotta be, man, because them guys gonna be slapping on the butt. And the clubs I was at, that I always go to, hey, man, they go butt booty naked. Number heels on. And the ones that I bonded with and built with beyond the physical, hey, man, I had to just sit there. But I want to show them that I'm secure, man, because I even brought my homies, the guys I played ball with in high school and the junior college I went to. Hey, man, I brought like 10, 15 guys when she was dancing. Like when she would be like the main event, I would bring my homies, man. Hey, look at my girl, tip her, man. Don't just look at her, tip her. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to show her, hey, I'm behind you. I support you. That's how I did all of them, man. I'm behind you. I support you. And I'm going to encourage your passion. This is what you like doing. This is what you have a strong passion for. I'm with it. And she looked up to me, not down on me. So this is the study guide, players. Building and bonding with a stripper beyond the physical now. Beyond the physical.